like if this is the first time that you're being in any of my lives or any of my webinars, then you might want to like subscribe because there's so much amazing stuff on this channel for you. You know, I began this channel actively, it was actually last year, and I've been able to upload really good content and playlists that will really help your info marketing game. All right. So if you're here, then you're here for information marketing. Now, the purpose of this webinar is to show you the systems I've been able to set up in my business that allows me to run an info marketing business that gets me 7 figures every month. All right. Now, what I'm going to share in today's live is not something you'd hear anywhere. Like, it's rare because a lot of people who know this won't want to share it with you. That's number one. Number two is a lot of people don't even know this. Number three is most people who say they are info marketers or most people who run info marketing businesses, most of the time they are just winging it. They are just trying different methods, trying different strategies to see which one works. It's like spaghetti method. It's like throwing eba on the wall and you're trying to find out, okay, which lump of eba would I throw now that will stick? That's how a lot of people run their businesses. That's how a lot of entrepreneurs who call themselves info marketers run their businesses. So what I'm going to share with you today is kind of like just the systems, breaking down what you need to pay attention to, what has really helped me, and what you should start diverting your energy towards. All right. So now before I begin actively, I want you to get a pen, get a paper, and if you can share the link, I'm going to drop. Let me see if I can drop the link. This is a shared link. Let me see if I can drop the link. I'll drop the link so you can share it with people who you feel like, okay, this will benefit. If you can copy the link and share to other people who you feel, okay, they would learn from it, that would really be nice. You'd be helping someone. All right. So if you share it, I will really be happy if you do that. All right. So let's get started. Now, what I'm going to share with you is very practical. All right. And I would want you to pay attention and be ready to jot things down. And besides jotting down, I'd want you to implement every single thing and also drop a testimonial, maybe under the comment section in the live. Maybe when you get it, even if it's 1 year, 3 months, 2 years from now, I'd want you to come back to this video and say, hey, this was what I learned. This is how I implemented it. This is the tangible result I got from this webinar by Oxide. All right. So having said that, let's get started. Now, the first thing I want you to have at the back of your mind is information marketing is easy. All right. It's very easy. It's simply knowing something and then letting somebody who wants to know about that thing know that you know it. Okay, that sounds too complicated. Now, it's simply knowing something, being able to help someone get results with particular knowledge, and then letting that person know that, hey, I know this stuff. Do you want it? And if the person is like, okay, yeah, I want it, you can, okay, go ahead, go here, make payment. This is how much I'll charge to share this information I know with you. And it's very beautiful because everybody knows something that they can sell. Everybody's an expert at something. And if you aren't yet, you can still become an expert at something. So if you're in this webinar, I'm making like few assumptions. Number one, you're a personal brand. All right, because I'm a personal brand. That's why what I'm about to share with you works for me. All right, number one, you're a personal brand. That means you're not running a corporate business where you have like 100 employees and 20, executives and all the rest of that. It's you in the market, you in the space by yourself. For example, my information marketing business has brought me 7 figures and has brought me 8 figures most of the time. Collectively, it has made me 8 figures. And I work just for myself. I don't have a sales team. I don't have I don't have people I don't have social media managers. It's just me, my virtual assistant, and some other people who I hire or delegate some works to. All right. So this is going to work for you if you're a personal brand. Number two, you already have something you're selling. I'm not going to teach you in this webinar how to think of what to sell or how to think of the course to create. This is not a course creation webinar. It's info marketing strategies. So I'm assuming you're a personal brand. Number two, you already have something you're selling. Number three, you already know who you're selling to. or you want to gain a little bit of clarity about who you're selling to from this webinar. All right. And number 4, which is the most important, you're ready to cut things down. All right. That means you're ready to eliminate things, because I'm going to tell you to eliminate a lot of things. You're going to be shocked. All right. Because what I've noticed in marketing is a lot of what we do in the business doesn't matter. We spend time doing low income activities. If you want to make 7 figures and you're still struggling with 6 figures, one of the first things I'll do, and one of the first things I'll tell you is, what are you doing? What can you stop doing? And what can you start doing? All right, so you have to stop first before you start doing something. So most of what I'm going to share with you is not going to be easy for you to implement if you're still doing some things in your business. All right. So having said that, let me just dive straight into what I'm going to be sharing with you. All right. Please pay close attention. This is really going to change your game. All right, because it's very practical. It's like what I do. I don't know if I can share my screen. I don't think I can. Can I? Can I share my screen? Oh man, I don't think I can. Can I? Let me see. And stream now. This. Okay, this is just the link. I can't share my screen. Oh, this is sad. Phew. Man, no, I'm going to be as practical as possible because this is like a YouTube live. All right. So now I teach there's a framework I used to teach people so they get results, and that's the framework I'm going to be using in this webinar. Now the framework is pretty simple, and it kind of like helps you get the hang of every single thing. So you no longer feel overwhelmed. You no longer be confused. I'm like, okay, where do I get started from here? What do I do next? All right. So the framework is mindset, principles, and then the mechanics. All right. Now, behind every secret, behind every successful person, there's a mindset they had to adopt. All right. Number 2, there are some principles they had to hold. That means they had to accept that these principles is the rule. Principles are like the rules, they're like the guidelines, they're like the fundamentals. They are the things that never change. All right. For example, a principle in marketing is, if you want to sell more of your products, you have to put it in the eyes of as much people as possible. It's a principle. All right. So you can decide to find different platforms to do that, but that principle holds no matter what. If you put your product in the eyes of as much people as possible who want your product, you're going to sell out more than somebody who just has so much product and doesn't advertise it as much as you do. That's a principle. All right. Now, mechanics. All right. Mechanics is like the strategies, the tactics, the tricks. This is what a lot of people want to hear. All right. Like a tactic in information marketing is run Facebook ads. All right. That's a tactic. Run Google ads. Now, Google can become obsolete. We don't know what will happen. Google can shut down. Facebook can shut down, though it's not clear they will, but they can. And if you don't understand the principle of advertising that says, if you put your product in front of people who can buy, you're going to be stuck, because all you knew was, I need to advertise on Facebook, I need to advertise on Google. So when Facebook bans you, you're stuck. You're like, oh my God, what do I do next? But because you understand the principle, you can now say, okay, since I just have to put my product in front of as many people as possible, what other platform can help me do this? Can I advertise on websites? Can I use Google ads? Can I use YouTube ads? That's the power of the principles. All right, now I'm going to teach you the mindset, then show you the principles, and then break down the mechanics for you. All right, because mindset, the mechanics I'm going to share with you, the strategy, some of the strategies I'm going to share with you might become obsolete. Like a few months from now, a few years from now, like they might stop working, they might become useless. All right, they might become ineffective, or they might become less effective than they were when I was using them. So you're not going to panic. I'm like, oh my God, he taught me that this thing will work and it's not working again. Well, a lot of things can come into play. All right. So what's the mindset that's been able to help me succeed as an information marketer? Now I'm going to just tell you 3 very, very important mindsets I've had. Now, the first mindset I've had that has helped me really succeed is, number 1, the abundance mindset. All right. And this is one thing you need to cultivate if you're going to implement anything I'm going to share with you. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge believer that there's so much wealth in the world. If you don't believe that thing, if you don't believe it, you might as well just leave the webinar right now. All right. Because if you don't believe there's so much wealth in the world, you're not going to be able to implement some of the things I'm going to share with you. And even if you do it, you're not going to do it with as much vigor as I would want you to do it. Because if you don't do it with as much vigor, you're not going to get the results. All right. So you want to tell yourself that there's so much wealth online. That's one of the mindsets. That's one of the mindset. I reaffirm that to myself every single day. Bro, there's so much money. There's so much money out there. And because I remind myself of this constantly, I'm not afraid to try a lot of things. I'm not afraid to try tactics. I'm not afraid to lose money. I'm not afraid to invest in things that would help me. I'm not afraid to invest in softwares. I'm not afraid to reach out to people I can help and charge them real high ticket prices. I'm not afraid to say, this is my price and I'm not going to budge. That's what the abundance mindset helps you do. It helps you take care of a lot of mindset blocks a lot of people have. All right. So the first mindset you want to have for you to really, really become very good is you need to cultivate the abundance mindset. Be comfortable. There's so much money in the world. And this is the truth. It's not a lie you're telling yourself. It's you simply saying what is. You know how many people are in the world? There are over, I think, 7 billion. I'm not really sure. Don't judge me. There are 7 billion people, or 7 billion plus. I think they're increasing. Last time they did calculation. In Nigeria alone, there are over 160 million people. So even if you're selling a 1 naira product, and you get everybody in Nigeria to buy, which is not possible, that's 160 naira, 160 million naira. But what this tells you is there's so many people who can buy your product. Like 1 million is a lot, is a lot. Now multiply that 1 million times 160. That's how much people who can buy from you. That's so much people who would love the knowledge you have. All right, that's so much people who can buy the courses, the products, the info products, who can pay for your mentorships, for your programs. So when you're reaching out to people and then somebody's like, well, I can't buy a course because it's too expensive. You're like, there are 159 more people. That's 159. There are 159.990. There are just so much people. A client tells you no, you just move on because there are still more people you can reach out to. In fact, you'd even be happy because you're like, well, if this client told me yes, I would have been working on this project right now. But now he told me no. I have time to look for somebody who would even pay more than I told him to pay. That's the abundance mindset. It allows you to become balanced. It allows you to see things from a different perspective and implement ruthlessly. Now, number two mindset, which I preach a lot, is divine timing. If you really want to succeed in this game, you have to become a believer of what I call divine timing. That means I might go ahead and implement the exact same things Oxide has taught me, but I might not get the same result as him in the same period of time. I might get more. Yeah, of course, you might implement what I'll tell you, and your results will be so much more amazing than mine in a short period of time. And you might implement it, and then it will take a lot more time to get the results I've gotten. All right. So I don't want you to attach your timeline to any other person's timeline or to my own timeline. It's your own race, it's your own game, and your timing is different. Now, I'm not being overly spiritual or religious here, but I really believe in divine timing. All right. Let me give you an example. Now, if you're here, you should know Nike. Nike is like one of the most popular shoe companies in the world. They make the best shoes. Okay, or people think they make the best shoes. They are very popular. Nike is very popular. After Nike, you can talk about Puma, Adidas, uh, and other shoes. I don't even know their name, but I can never forget Nike. That's how powerful they are. Now, Nike was founded by a guy named Phil Knight. Now, Phil Knight founded Nike, and he was in debt for almost 10 years. Like, they were owing the banks millions and millions of dollars. And right now, see where Nike is. Now, let's say Phil Knight decided to throw in the towel and say, oh my God, I'm no more doing this thing again. Where is Nike going to be now? You're probably not hear of it. In fact, the first name I might call is Puma. I might be using Puma as the example in this live webinar. So that's divine timing. All right. There are people who would get started and it will take time for them to go big. And there are some who would get started and then it will take like seconds to go big immediately. So adopting the mindset of divine timing allows you to stick to the process. You tell yourself, I'm going to keep doing it, even if I'm not seeing visible results yet, but I'm going to keep putting in the reps. I'm going to keep showing up every single day. Because most of the systems I'm going to teach you to set up require daily showing up. Like you have to show up daily, or let me say almost daily. That means let's say you can miss a day, but you don't want to miss 2, 3, 4, 5 days. All right, you can take a break for a period of time, but you want to resume back to what you're doing, unless you want to end it finally, do. But if you really want to make money, you want to adopt the mindset of divine time. There's so much wealth in the world, and I can tap into it. And also, as I'm tapping into it, I know it might not take as soon as I want it to. It might take a lot more time, but I'm going to remain relentless whatsoever. That's divine timing. All right, now the third mindset block I would want you to adopt is you want to stop fearing success. All right, this is what a lot of people do. They feel like, oh, I want to make a lot of money online, and then when the time now comes for them to take the big actions, take the big steps, they know they are capable, they know they have the skills, they believe that, oh, I should be making more money than this, but because of fear of success, like, how would I, they can't fathom, they've never visualized themselves having that much amount of money. What now happens is that they freeze. All right, they become satisfied with where they are. All right, they don't want to scale, they don't want to grow. They're just like, well, let me just keep playing the small game. Let me just keep making 6 figures every month. 7 figures might be too much. I'm just a student, right? I don't think 7 figures would be good for me or more. As I just said, student, I just realized I haven't introduced myself. Whoa! All right, so if you're here, this is the first time you're hearing me speak. My name is Chianu Solomon. Chianu Solomon. People call me Oxide. Many people online call me Oxide. And this is my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So you can subscribe or you can choose not to subscribe. But you should subscribe because there's so much value here. I mean, there's so much information that would help you on this channel. I mean, unconventional information you won't find anywhere. All right, so it's that out of the way. Now you know my name. You're not like, who is this weird black guy that's talking? He hasn't even told us his name. So I've told you my name now. So we can move ahead. All right, so these three mindsets. Number one, the mindset of abundance. There's so much abundance in the world. There's so many people who are willing to pay for your stuff. Number two, divine timing. That means I don't know the time when I will blow. I love the way I put it right now. It means you want to keep showing up, keep putting in the reps, because eventually you're going to break through. You're definitely going to break through. There's this saying that goes, a man who doesn't stop doesn't lose. All right. A man who never stops never loses. All right. Or a man who dies fighting never loses. That sort of thing. I don't want you to die, but the main idea here is you want to keep showing up. You don't want to attach your showing up to the results you're getting as a person, all right? To the result of, you log in and, oh my God, I haven't made 6 figures this month yet. I'm stuck here. Somebody just called me a fine black guy. Oh my God. All right, so you want to keep putting in the reps, irrespective of the results you're getting. All right, now the third mindset I want you to adopt is you want to stop fearing success. That means you want to be ready to go beyond what you're making currently. Like you want to visualize yourself, like you want to clearly see yourself making 10x, 100x more than you're making. Because if you don't visualize yourself, you're not going to take these actions. I see a lot of people, they're like, okay, always tell me what to do. And I'm like, okay, go do this, go do that, go do that to make you this amount of money. And not because they are lazy, not because they are unserious, not because they didn't hear what I said, but because they're like, damn, this would really work. But I don't think I can handle the influx of money that will come from this. Like, you might feel a lot of people want to make money, but there are a lot more people who are afraid of making money. They're afraid of success. They're like, oh my God, and most of them because of their money story. But that aside, now these are the mindsets you need to have for you to truly grasp what I'm going to say, and for what I'm saying here to truly impact what you do in your business. All right. So I'm going to be talking for like an hour, and then I'm going to give you like 15 minutes for questions. I don't like making really, really long, content that would bore you or that would take you so much time to catch up on. All right. So I'm going to make it as concise as possible. And I'm also going to give you free range to ask questions. I mean, any question that is bothering you in your business. That means when at the end of this, when I'm like, okay, ask questions, I don't want you to just restrict your questions to what I've said in this call. I want you to ask me questions that are really, really plaguing you. It doesn't have to be, oh, Oxide, based on what you said. If it's based on what I said, fine. But if you have other special questions beyond what I've said, then please, by all means, go ahead and ask. All right. So let's move into principles. Now, what are some principles that I've held in my mind that really made me successful online, or that's really helped me because my level I'm still growing. But what are some principles I really hold as valuable as a marketer? All right. Number one principle is that you must be relevant. All right. You must be relevant. Now, when I mean relevant, I don't mean you must be a useful person to everybody. It means you should have knowledge that helps a defined group of people. All right. And most of the time it's through skill acquisition. For example, someone who has the skill of copywriting is more useful to a business who needs to sell products than somebody who is a singer. All right. The person who is a singer has no use to that company because he's not going to sing his way into them making sales. But the person who is a copywriter can write copy that sells their products. So what happens? Not that the singer is irrelevant in this case, but he's irrelevant in the industry to the people he's in front of. He's very irrelevant to them. All right. Now he might be relevant in the music industry. He might be relevant in front of people like Don Jazzy or in front of producers, but he's very irrelevant to that business that wants to make sales. So what you want to make sure you're doing is you are relevant, and not just being relevant, you are showing your relevance to people who you can help. This is a principle I always have at the back of my mind. Every single day when I wake up to create content, there's something I have at the back of my mind. I'm like, you're waking up today to sell the idea of you to somebody. It guides all the content I create. As on this webinar, I'm selling the idea of me to you already. All right. I'm not telling you I'm doing that, but I'm doing that by actually doing it. All right. So you want to be relevant, and you also want to show those that you can help that you're relevant. That can come through putting out content that really helps you, putting out content that shows what you know, putting out content that shows how you think, putting out content that shows what you're working on, putting out content that is like, okay, that makes those people you can help be like, oh my God, this guy is somebody I would love to work with. It can be content about your story, about your lifestyle, about the way you do things, about your method, about what makes you unique. It doesn't have to be what other people put out. All right. So that's the number one principle. Be relevant and be ready to always show that you're relevant. All right. That's number one. Number two, every single day, you want to make sure that you are allowing people to contextualize you the way you want to. Now, here's what I mean by contextualize. Now, in the game of marketing, I mean information marketing, perception wins the game. All right. In the game of selling, perception wins it. Now, there might be some phones who are much more better than Apple. But in the world today, the most popular phone is Apple. The best laptops are MacBooks. All right. That's what we think. There might be some brands who are like, oh my God, this is so unfair. Our product is better than Apple's own, but nobody cares because nobody perceives them as better than Apple. Apple is the tech giant. They're like they're the biggest tech company. Then after them, Google and the rest of them. They're the biggest tech company in the world right now because they play the game of perception well. And how do they do it? Look at their packaging, look at their sites, look at their ads, look at the story they wrap their products around, look at their minimalist designs. It just shows class, it shows elegance, and we can't blame them. Some phones are better than Apple. We don't care. We're still going to keep buying Apple. Why? Because they play the game of perception very well. So how do you make people perceive you as a marketer? Through what again? Through content. It can be your bio, it can be your profile picture, it can be your flyer, it can be your ad, it can be your tone of writing. You just want to make sure that every single day you're playing that perception game very well. You don't want to be someone who's really good and people don't know you're very good. Like, yeah, oh my god, I don't know this guy. I don't know about He says he's very good, but we're not sure. We're not seeing it. If they don't see it, then it doesn't exist. All right. Now, if all Apple had was words like, "Oh, we're the best phone," nobody's going to buy them. But because when you get a feel of their phone, you go, "Damn, this is nice. Like it feels good. Their packaging, every single thing." And also the word of mouth from people who have gotten Apple products is another thing. All right, so that's number two. Number three, you want to focus on putting your product in front of in front of a hungry market. This one I feel like a lot of people have said it already, so I don't really need to hammer on it. Every single day, you want to make sure you're putting a great product, you're making a great offering, and you're putting that amazing offering in front of people who are hungry. I mean, people who are hungry buyers, people who are like, damn, I really need your service right away. Now, when I say every day, I don't mean once in a while, I mean every single day. Now, you're going to have customers who are hungry, you're going to have those who are lukewarm. They're like, well, I'm not really sure. I'm still thinking. And you're going to have those who are like, I don't even know if I need you. All right. So what you want to make sure you're doing is that you're putting your products in front of those who are hungry every single day. And how do you do that? That's through cold outreach. Reaching out to these people yourself or building systems and reach out to them. It can be ads, it can be cold emails, but you want to make sure you're putting your amazing offer in front of these people every single day. All right, so that's it for the principles. I'm going to get into the mechanics quickly. All right, mechanics is what this webinar purports. All right, the mechanics, but I can't talk about the mechanics without sharing the mindset and the principles with you. So you really have something to take away. If you are going to leave this webinar right now, I'd know I've taught you everything you need to really be successful as an info marketer or as someone who runs an info business, whichever. Because I've shared with you the things that never change. Like even if 10 years to come, 100 years to come, marketing is still going to stand by these mindsets and also by these principles that I've just shared with you. All right, so I'm going to run through it briefly. Now, under mindset, to talk about three mindsets that will really help you. Number one, the abundance mindset. All right. Number two, the mindset of divine timing. And number three, the mindset of I don't fear success. I'm ready to put in the work to attract as much money as possible. And I don't fear what would happen if I get the money. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. All right. Now, under principles, number one is you want to make sure that you are relevant and you're also showing people you can help that are relevant. Number two, you want to play the game of perception really, really well. All right. You want people to perceive you the right way. Everything is perception. All right. Number three, you want to make sure that you're putting an amazing offer in front of hungry customers who are ready to buy immediately every single day. It can be through cold outreach, it can be through cold emails, it can be through ads, it can be through reaching out to them in their DMs, whichever way you want, or cold calls or cold pitches. You want to make sure you're doing that every single day. All right, so I'm about to move into the mechanics. I'm going to talk about 8 systems and how I set them up. Now, if I'm to round up my whole marketing in a nutshell, I'm definitely going to talk about these 8 systems. All right, so I would want you to write these 8 systems down. All right, get a pen and a paper because I can't share my screen here. It's live. Everything has to be me and you putting what I'm saying down. That's why I said at the beginning, you need a pen, you need a paper. Don't just say, oh, well, I have a photographic memory. I'm going to remember everything Oxide has said, or I'm going to go through the live later, maybe when I'm free, maybe tomorrow or tomorrow evening. Put it down right now. This is best chance. This is your best chance to put down the value gems I'm going to be dropping. All right, because this is my marketing wisdom. This is like simply what would really help you. All right, so 8 systems and how I set them up. Now, the first system I set up is number one, the system of consistent content. I'm going to list the 8 systems and I'm going to break each of them down bit by bit. So, number one is consistent content. Consistent content. Number two is consistent study. Number three, consistent strategy. I'm also putting it down so I can track each and every one because I thought I could share my screen, but I can't. All right, so consistent content, consistent study, consistent strategy, consistent client acquisition. All right, that's number four. Sorry, consistent study, consistent content, consistent strategy, consistent client acquisition, uh, consistent feedback. Sorry, consistent feedback. That's number six. So I've listed five already: content, study, strategy, client acquisition, feedback. All right. So consistent feedback. Number six, consistent offering. That's when I say offering, don't get too confused. Don't be like, oh my god, is it offering in church? You don't ever think of that. Consistent offering means consistent offers that you're marketing. All right. So that's the number six. Did I say eight six eight six eight? Did I say sorry? I say eight system. So consistent content, consistent study, consistent client acquisition, consistent feedback, consistent offering. All right. So I'm going to dive into each and every one right now. Sorry, give me a minute. Let me. Sorry, I want to set something. Sorry. All right. I just want to. I can't share my screen, so it's like impeding my. Because I created some slides I would love to share, but I can't share them right now. So I want to access these slides myself. Beautiful. Yep. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go again. Number one, I've assessed the slide. Number one, consistent content. Number two, consistent client outreach. Number three, consistent lead generation or email signups. Number four, consistent offer and consistent fulfillment. Let me see if I can set this up so I can be kind of looking at it because my screen is meant to be sharing me this thing, but I can't share my screen. All right, consistent offer or fulfillment. Number five, consistent relationship building. Number six, consistent study. Number seven, consistent leverage. Number eight, consistent strategy. All right, so I'm going to break down these systems. Now, when it comes to consistent content, every single day, I make sure I am putting out content. All right, now I've been able to grow a large list of subscribers for my email list. I have a considerable list of like 21.5K on my WhatsApp. I have 30,000 plus followers on Twitter. I think 30.1. I'm still growing my YouTube. So every single day, I'm putting out content on this platform to build more people, to get more people who would follow, more people who would subscribe, more people who would sign up. And basically, that's like the list. The main thing is to get them to see how I can help them. All right. So consistent content helps you do this. Consistent content is so powerful because content is like what makes the internet what it is. Why are you on YouTube? Because I'm talking. What I'm doing right now is I'm sharing content with you. Why do you go on TikTok to watch videos? That's content of other people. Why do you go on Twitter to see tweets? Tweet is content. So content is like what makes social media what it is, what makes it addictive, what makes a lot of people say, oh my god, I spend so much time on social media and I feel so bad about it. Why? It's because of the content. The content they're consuming on these platforms is so satisfying. So you want to be leaving your footprints in the sand of time as an information marketer. No matter what you do, no matter what you sell, no matter who you sell to, you want to make sure that you are creating content that appeals to those people who you can help every single day. Now, let's say for example, you're a freelancer, that is, you're a copywriter, and you help people sell out more of their products. You help people write copies, you help people run campaigns, you help them write DSL copies, email copies, and all that stuff. You want to put out not just content, but content that shows these people that, hey, this guy knows his stuff. All right. It can be content on case studies of people you've helped before. It can be content that can help these people you're appealing to. All right. So you want to put out content every single day. And for that to be very, very productive, you want to pick just one or two social media. My advice would be for you to pick one when you're starting out. It's not easy to toggle two social medias at a time. Just one. You can pick from these three social medias. I call them fit. All right. If you're creating content on these social media platforms, you are fit. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. These are like the most popular. I think TikTok is coming in right now. Like, I can't call it FITT. But Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are platforms that are found that really help you build. Some people talk about LinkedIn, some people talk about, but I feel LinkedIn is kind of too small, restricted. But Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter is universal. Like, these apps have downloads, billions of downloads. So even if, like, they have like 1 billion download plus. So that means you are appealing to a large population. That means you can find most of the people in the world on these platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So every single day you want to make sure you're putting out content on these platforms. All right. And most of the time it's hard to do that. So what you want to do is you want to find softwares, you want to find tools, you want to find resources that makes it easier. For example, for my Twitter, I create my tweets myself, but I don't send them out every day myself. I have a software called HypeFury. HypeFury is a very amazing software. You can search it after this webinar. HypeFury allows me to schedule tweets for like a whole week, a whole month. All right. So you want to build on one of these social media platforms where you can gather people with your content. And number two, you also want to have a content conversion system. All right, that means you want to put out content on places where you reach a lot of people. And you want to be funneling these people to a place where you can convert them by putting out really, really more amazing content that you're putting out on social media platform. Like, for example, I have 30.1k followers on Twitter, and some days I can decide not to tweet at all. Like, I'm unconcerned, I'm not tweeting today. But I would think twice before I don't send an email out to my list. Why? Because my list is my conversion system. So what I do is I put out content that attracts those people I can help on this social media, and then I drive them straight up to my list. That's why I hardly sell on Twitter. I hardly sell on Instagram. I hardly sell on social boards. I don't sell on socials most of the time. Sometimes I might be running really, really serious offers in my email list, and then I'm not even really promoting it on my social media, right? Because social media is just like the top end of the funnel. You're putting out content there to get in contact with these people who the social media is giving to you for free. It's not your platform. You're just there. You're just like a merchant there, and you have to get people to pay attention to you. Like, hey, notice me, notice me. I'm very good at this stuff. For you to become closer to me, get into my email list, get into my WhatsApp. Get my WhatsApp number. All right. You want to make sure that every single day you're putting out content on the platforms that get you to reach a lot more people, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or any other platform you love. And you're funneling these people, turning them from just followers, subscribers, to people who are like, well, I like this guy. Let me get into his email list. Let me get to know more about what he does. And those systems actually now what converts them. All right. So consistent content automatically flows into consistent lead generation. All right, content is what causes lead generation. Either you create the content and people who you can help see it organically, or you create the content and then you promote it with ads, or you create the content with somebody who has an audience of people you like. That's partner traffic. That's partner content. I'm going to talk about that when I get to consistent lead gen. All right. So every single day I'm putting out content every single day, like on my Twitter, on my on my email list. I make sure I put out. Let me not say every single day, but let me say on a consistent basis. That means if you've set out that more, I'm going to create every Tuesday and Thursday, then make sure you stick to that. If you say okay, 3 to 5 times a week, make sure you stick to that. If you say once a day, make sure you stick to that. You want to make sure it's consistent, it's predictable, so they can begin to say, okay, by this time I'm going to get this guy's email. It becomes a part of their daily lives. They begin to contextualize you as a person who really has what they want. All right, so that's it for consistent content. Number two, consistent client outreach. Now, I told you something when I was talking about principles. I said one of the most powerful principles, I talked about just three principles, I talked about just three mindsets. And I like keeping things very simple. And the second principle I said was every single day, you want to make sure you're putting out an amazing offering to a hungry buyer or to a group of hungry buyers. It doesn't have to be one person. Every single day, I prioritize client acquisition. Every single day, I'm reaching out to somebody. Hey, I can help you do this stuff. And for this kind of outreaches, for client outreach, I charge high tickets for it. Talking about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, $5,000. Charge high tickets for that. All right. When I get offers, I'm going to break down, what I have in mind when I do this. All right. But consistent client outreach, you want to make sure that you're not just selling to an audience, maybe through your email list or through your WhatsApp, but you're reaching out every day. It's one thing my mentor told me. He said, you never outgrow client outreach. The reason why a lot of marketers are so far behind on the earning spectrum is because they're afraid to reach out. They're expecting those people they can help to enter their name. I'm like, hey, I want to pay you 5 million naira for you to help me do this. Nobody is going to do that. And if they do that, it's not going to come as frequently. And you're not going to imagine not being able to predict how much you make monthly. But let's say you know every day that okay, if I send out one cold pitch every single day, I'm going to land a client that pays me 2 million naira. So if I want to make 10 million naira this year, I have to send it out 5 times. I have to do this 5 times. I have to send out every single day 5 times. Predictable. You now know, okay, this month I'm going to make some amount of money. Next month, how about I ramp it up? How about I either increase my price or I increase the people I'm talking to? And preferably, you want to increase your price. All right. So that's client outreach. You want to make sure you're reaching out to clients every single day or on a stable frequency. Now, the reason I'm saying every single day is because I found that doing these things every day kind of makes them a habit. All right. Now, what I do when I want to develop a habit is I do it every day. I do it every day for 30 days and every day for 30 minutes for 30 days. All right. Every day for 30 minutes for 30 days. I do it. I notice that anytime I do that, that thing becomes a part of me. I no longer find it hard to say, oh, let me reach out to clients. I'm like, well, it's time to reach out to clients. I just do it. I don't think too much about it. Oh my God, should I reach out to client by this time? No, it's so simple. All right. So consistent client outreach, very important. Number three, consistent lead gen or email signups. If you're here and you're running an info marketing business and you don't have an email list, they are meant to flog you because it's so scary to like sometimes I sit down and I think like, wow, so some people just sell with social media. Like you really have balls if you do that, man. Because it is arrogance that can make you say, oh well, I'm not going to build my own email list. It's so dangerous. You don't own these platforms. Sorry. You don't own these platforms. You don't own Instagram. You don't own Twitter. You don't own Facebook. They can decide to kick you out any day they want. Mark can wake up and say, well, kick this guy out. His content is somehow. People bigger than you are getting kicked out. There's this guy called Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate was the most Googled man on the planet at the beginning of this year. The most Googled man. He was cancelled on IG, cancelled on Google. Like YouTube kicked him out. Like his account, all his followers eliminated. Like just banned, banned on all these social media platforms. Why? Because of the content you put out. So with these platforms, you're restricted. How far you can share is restricted. How intimate you can get with the people who you're going to sell to eventually as an info marketer is restricted. You can wake up and all the followers, all the people you've built with the content you've tirelessly built, put out every single day, eliminated. You no longer have access to them, and there's nothing you can do. You can't file a lawsuit against Google. You can't take them to court. You're going to lose because it's in terms and conditions which you didn't read. When was the last time you read the terms and conditions? If you read the terms and conditions before you created an account on these platforms, you're going to realize that you're the loser here. All right, so you want to make sure every single day. Okay, income system. All right, so you don't want to. Okay, my connection is stable right now. Okay, I don't know why I'm coming. Let me. All right, so you don't want to just rely wholly. You don't want your marketing to be hinged on these social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You don't want it. Every single day, you want to be funneling people from these platforms to your email list. It's so amazing. And the beautiful thing is, there are a lot of softwares that can help you do this easily. In fact, email marketing is so amazing because it even creates more time for you. Putting out content on social media, most times, if you don't have the software that helps you, it's going to be tiring. But with emails, you can schedule emails up to a month. All right. You want to make sure you're generating leads. And there are three ways I've found to generate leads. Number one, organic traffic. Number two, partner traffic. And number three, paid traffic. A lot of people don't know about partner traffic. So I'm going to double down on it more during this webinar. Now, organic traffic is you're putting out content on this social media that has a lot of people. You're directing them into your email list and you're selling to them. All right. Now, partner traffic is you see someone who has a list of people who you can help, or who has a list of people who you want to have. You partner with that person. It can be a collaboration where the person gains, or just make sure both parties are gaining. You're gaining a list of people who buy from you later, and they would also be gaining something from you. It can be a percentage, it can be something. Partner traffic is very powerful, and I've utilized it a lot of times. A lot of people hardly utilize it, but it's so powerful. Number three is paid traffic. A lot of people talk about this: Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, TikTok ads, any ad, whether it's on website ads, solo ads, email ads. These are ads that you can run to get people into your list. Now you want to be utilizing the three of them. You don't want to be dependent on one. In everything I'm teaching you, the only thing you should kind of like stick to one at the beginning is social media. All right, a social media platform. That's like the only place where you should stick to one. Okay, they said my connection is unstable. Can you hear me clearly? I don't know. They're telling my connection is unstable and it's pretty good here. Okay, you can hear me. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, this person was calling me too much. Okay, you can hear me. Amazing. Thank you. So I'm going to ignore YouTube here. All right. So consistent lead gen. You want to utilize these three. You want to make sure every day you're asking yourself, what content can I put out that'll make someone want to get closer to me, maybe get my email list. All right. And number two, what kind of content? And number two, who can I partner with? Who has the audience I want? You should be on the lookout for that. Sometimes it's so easy because partner traffic converts very amazingly. Because you're not building them from scratch, you're just taking them from someone who has already done a little bit of nurturing, and then you're just like, okay, this guy has nurtured you, so I'm going to sell to you. Boom, you bag your money. All right. So partner traffic. Number three, paid traffic. I do this once in a while. I don't do paid traffic very frequently. I do it, let's say, when I want to sell large units of a product. Most of the time, it's not really compulsory, but most people say it is. But you can utilize it if you have the budget. All right. That's for lead gen. Now, number four, consistent offer and fulfillment. Now, when it comes to consistent offer and fulfillment, as an information marketer, you must have at least two offers. Pay attention. You must have an offer that is very, very high ticket, where whoever pays for it gets intimate access to you. It can be a mentorship, it can be a coaching, it can be I do it for you. It can be done for you. Let's say I do for you. You want to have a one-on-one offer that allows people to pay you high amounts of money for more access to you, for more of your time, for more of your knowledge, for more, more intimacy with you. All right. Number two, you want to have an offer that is open to a lot of people. All right, maybe a mid ticket or a low ticket offer. A lot of people can get in and try to, okay, let me taste this guy. Let me see what kind of a person he is. So most of the time, you want to have a flagship product and you want to have a low ticket product. All right. So one-on-one offer, you want to make sure that every single day you're refining it. How do I make it better? How do I make it that whoever I reach out to with this offer, because one-on-one offers is what plays into your consistent client outreach. One-on-one offers. Sorry, let me plug this. One-on-one offers is what plays into your consistent client outreach. It's what you send to those clients you want to charge the big bucks. So every single day you want to make sure that, how do I make this better? Okay, I offer copywriting services. How do I make it more enticing? What can I offer? What can I offer apart from this copywriting? What can I add to this to make it really unique? Okay, what about I build a page for them? How about I design a funnel? What about I learn email marketing and add an email sequence to it? That's amazing. So you're still reaching out to these people who you can help. You're not changing your audience, but now you're reaching out to them as a bigger package. Your offer is more enticing. You should also be doing that for your low ticket products. Asking yourself, how do I make this course, this thing I've created, how do I make it more? Because most times people sell low ticket products like ebooks, courses, classes, coaching. You want to be asking yourself, what do I add? What do I add to make this more amazing? Do I add guest speakers? Do I add a free this? Do I add a free consultation session? Do I create a community around it? You want to dedicate time to do that every single day. I do this every day. I wake up in the morning, I sit down for some time, and all I'm doing is paying attention to what goes through my mind. I'm trying to ask myself, how do I get this person to pay more attention to me? How do I make this person see what they are getting as something really valuable? And then I write them down. I do that every single day. All right, so that's it for constant offer fulfillment. Number five, consistent relationship building. Information marketing is a game of people. It's a people's game in the sense that everything you're not teaching it to table, you're not teaching it to laptops, you're not teaching it to phones, you're teaching it to human beings who have lifestyles like you. It's a game of people. So what you want to make sure is you're building relationships with as much people as possible. Relationships with those people who you can help through your content, sharing your story, sharing your lifestyle. It builds relationships with these people. Why do you think people love influencers? Why do you see people say, "Oh, I love The Rock so much. I love, Selena Gomez. I love Ariana Grande." She has never ever spoken to them on the phone, but the kind of content she puts out allows them become so magnetized to her. They're like, "Oh my god, this woman is my friend. I like her. If anybody says anything about Ariana Grande, I'm going to fight that person." You also want to do that. Relationship building. Number two, you want to build relationships with people who are on the same level with you. I call these people your comrades, your corporals, people who are on the same level with you, and people who you can collaborate with to go beyond the level both of you are in. All right. Number three, which is the most important, you want to building relationships with those people who are ahead of you, whether ahead of you in terms of knowledge or ahead of you in terms of income. You want to be building relationships with them. So these three kind of people, those who are ahead of you, those who are on the same level with you, and those who are on the level below you. Now, how you build with those ahead of you is true value. When I mean value, I don't want you to think of it as just information. I mean value is relative. You might be valuable to me because you help me get things done fast. And you might be valuable to me because you help me make more money. And you might be valuable to me because you help me do those things I don't want to do. Whatever, value is relative. So you want to make sure you're addressing one or two of their needs. How can you help them? Can you make them smarter? Can you make them more money? Can you make them richer? Can you make life easier for them? Can you help them? Can you help them do what they do currently faster? and more efficiently, then do it for them. That's how you build relationship with those ahead of you. All right. It's not true, hey, mentor me or teach me your ways or that sort of thing, or please, I'm barging. No, you want to do it the right way. Number two, how do you build a relationship with those people who are on the same level with you? You want to become very good at discerning people, paying attention to people. You want to build a relationship with the right people, of course, not just anybody who is on the same level with you. You want to judge them by the strength of their character. All right, because you can build a relationship with somebody, and then at the end of the day, oh my god, you realize it's a mess, that you're better off if that was even build a relationship with this person. This person just slowed you down, or this person even cheated you. I've had friends who were cheated by their comrades, people they build stuff with, just cheated them out of the whole deal and everything. And you don't want to build those kind of people. So you want to judge people you build relationships with on the basis of their character, not on the basis of their reputation. You don't want to hear stuff about this guy. Oh, this guy is very good, and then you can't build a relationship with him. You want to watch him, have conversations with him, slowly get to know, how does this person behave? What's his values? What does he stand for? Before you build a relationship with that person. And advice I'll give you: don't build relationship with people on the same level with you based on how much they're making. Money is not a good judge of character. Money is just anything anybody can have. People who have psychopaths can make a lot of money, narcissists can make a lot of money, evil people can make a lot of money. It's not a respecter of, but relationship, you have to be very careful with it. Now, how do you build relationships with those ahead below you? By creating content that satisfies them, that allows them to contextualize you, content that helps them, content that shares your lifestyle with them, content that shares lessons with them, all right, content that magnetizes you to them. All right, so that is for consistent relationship building. Now, number 6, consistent study. You want to make sure you're learning more. All right, a lot of people say 20% convert, 20%, 20%. Sorry, a lot of people say 20% consuming, 80% producing. All right, I'm a preacher of that also. You want to make sure you're consuming even while I've noticed something. This is what a lot of info. This is what slows a lot of info marketers down. They get so hung up on creating, producing, creating stuff, so much content, putting out stuff, creating this new course, creating this new amazing, or freelancers helping this client, working with somebody, and then how much they know starts to reduce, because there's a study that shows that you lose 80% of what you know every day. Every single day, you forget 80% of what you know. I don't know, or 80% of what you've learned that day. That means if you don't learn anything that day, you're still going to lose 80%. Where is that 80% going to come from? What you've learned before. So every day you want to make sure you're studying. Study marketing, study ads, study people ahead of you, study products, study books. I'm a huge fan of books. You have to read. Reading is beautiful. Why? Because reading gets you in contact with people who you might never ever get in contact with again, because some of them are dead, some of them are so far high ahead of you they don't have your time, some of them are not in the same geographical locations with you, some of them it will take eons for you to even get them to give you an audience. But books get you their knowledge, distilled knowledge, right in front of you. Take courses, pay for programs, pay for masterminds, join communities, get mentors, get coaches. That's study. It makes you really unique. Now I'll tell you a story. For a while, when in 2020, I was making cool 6 figures, monthly, and I was feeling good. But then towards the end of 2020, I became angry. I was making 6 figures, but I was never able to make 7 figures in a month. Which was very frustrating. The closest I came to doing that in a month was 900K in November of 2022. I was so frustrated, and I still couldn't do it in December of 2020. I think I did it then, but before I did it, I got into a community. Now, what moved me was that this community didn't teach me anything new. It was just a gathering of people, and what I saw there made me put in the work. Not like they were teaching something unique, all right, though I learned from it, but what I learned was that sense of community makes you do things that you won't naturally do. Have you noticed when you're in a group of people and everybody's singing, then you have that energy to sing like, hey, But if you're alone or like you're like with two people, that energy won't be there. Have you not been to a concert, let's say Davido or Wizkid? You see the way people are singing, everybody shouting, hey, Now, I'll tell you the truth. If you're the only one in that concert and Davido, you might think, oh, Davido is moving the crowd, but no, it's the crowd that is moving the crowd. When you are the only one not singing among 500 people, you join them, you get lost in the crowd. It's bound not going to affect. So it's not Davido or Whiskey that is moving the crowd or Burna Boy. It's the crowd that is moving themselves. If you're alone with Davido and Burna Boy and they are singing that loud, you hardly sing. If pick any one of those people, if they are there, they will just be in awe. But being around people helps them do those things. So what I'm saying is consistent study. You want to be investing in knowing more, in getting things that can move you ahead very, very, very fast. All right, number 7, consistent leverage. I leverage a lot. And leverage starts with you getting rid of a lot of things. All right. And it's very hard to do. If you have 5 cars, you have a Lamborghini, an Audi, a Ferrari, a Bugatti, a Porsche, and then they tell you, give away 4 of these cars, or not even give away, sell 4 of them and have only one. It's going to be very hard for you to do unless you're really broke, though. But let's say you have a lot of money and you don't need it. But they tell you, sell, you must sell, bro. It's going to be so painful to part with 4 cars. But let's say you have one, which is the Bugatti, and they tell you, buy 4 more cars. The money is not a problem. Unless you're broke. Buy 4 more cars. You're not going to hesitate. You're going to buy those cars because you're like, so it's hard. It's hard to be a minimalist. But before leverage comes in, you have to get rid of a lot of things. So every single day, you want to make sure you're leveraging what you're doing. There are some tasks you can't leverage. And this is why I have a principle. It guides every single thing I do. I call it LIE. It's leverage, impact, energy. All right. LIE guides every single thing I do. Lie, like lie. Why are you lying? That kind of thing. But lie guides every single thing I do. Every time I'm about to embark on a task as an info marketer, I ask myself, does this create leverage? Does it create energy? Energy, when I talk about energy, I'm talking about motivation. Does it create inspiration? Does it create money? Because money is a motivation. Does it create impact? That means, would it impact somebody so well? Right? That's what I ask myself. So if what I'm doing doesn't create leverage, energy, or impact, then I would outsource it to someone else. I'll delegate it. I'll tell someone, hey, come help me do this stuff. For example, I write my mails, but I don't send out my mails. I create my tweets, but I don't schedule them. All right? I don't schedule my tweets. I create them, every single one of them, but someone helps me set them up. Okay, this was sent by this time, this was sent by this time. Also, that's the same thing for my emails. I create everything. I write my copy, the whole big idea and everything. But most of the times, I'm not the one that assembles it together. That's leverage. So I've created the main thing that really matters, and then someone else can take care of the least important stuff. All right. Impact. Why am I having this webinar with you? It's not going to, because I'm having this webinar, I'm going to wake up and then find ₦1 million in my bank account, unless I sell to you after this. But it's to impact you, because I know that when I impact you, it's going to act as leverage in the future. When I want to sell to you, I'm going to be like, okay, damn, this guy knows what to say, man. I'm going to buy from Oxide because I was in his webinar at that time, and guy, the webinar was really mad. That might be the reason why you buy from me. Yes, I was on my fine fish. It's like leverage. Fish is leverage. So leverage, impact. Number 3, energy. That's why I say consistent client outreach. Consistent client outreach creates energy because it creates money. Money is energy. Money makes you do things. It helps you get things that help you get stuff done. All right. So leverage. Focus on leverage. Now, the 8th is consistent strategy. You want to make sure that you're so clear on what you're doing that you don't easily get sidetracked. This is what a lot of people face. They get into the marketing space and then they're like, oh my god, let me get started doing this stuff I'm doing, and they're like, oh my god, this shiny stuff, oh my god, this guy says his way is good. Oh, this guy talking about this XYZ method. Oh man, this guy said this ABC method made him 1 million. Oh my god, this guy. So you want to shut out the noise. You want to start listening to little people, and you want to draw out an actual strategy. What strategy am I implementing? What blueprint am I following? Whose framework am I using? Who is leading me? Who is guiding me? Who is my mentor in this case? That's what you want to ask yourself. So every single day, I refine my strategy. I look at that's why I have two documents. It's like two documents that really help me. I have a 25-year vision. Man, trust me, it's here with me. It's like a group of papers. I staple them together. Now I wrote down what I want to do, like where I see myself in the next 25 years, what I'm going to do to achieve it. Now that might seem very vague, like who's planning for 25 years? Well, it's a compass that guides you. It's not a map. A map tells you, oh, go left, go right, do this right now, do this in the next 1 hour. But a compass tells you, are you going north? Are you going south? Are you going east? Are you going west? Do you understand? So what that the 25-year vision acts as my compass, and then my map is what am I doing today? What's my strategy for this month? What's my strategy for this quarter? That's my map. So you want to have both, and you want to have someone who is helping you design that map. And most of the time, it has to be someone who has followed the steps on that map and has gotten to the promised land that you want to get to. Are you feeling me? Did you get my drift? So you want to make sure that every single day you're learning, you're looking at your strategy, you're saying, okay, this is where I'm going, this is what I need to do, okay, this is what I'm paying attention to. You have someone who's also guiding you. It makes you so much more powerful. It makes you so much more powerful. All right. So that's it for the 8 systems. Now, these 8 systems are like the pillars of the blueprint I used. I'm sorry, they just look like hair, man. This is so sad. Sorry, I can't get up and put on the gen right now. So you have to manage this like this. Okay, this is my light still on. All right, so 8 systems now play in and help me implement my method. It's like a framework. It's like my own strategy, which is the AMO method, and I'm going to run you through it quickly. Now, my AMO method is made up of AMO, AMMO. Now, the idea behind the AMO method is having an ammunition for you to win online. All right, having an ammunition is like guns, bullets, grenades, all the things soldiers carry to win a war. Bazookas, AK-47s, AK-57s, whatever, all the kind of AKs. All those things are ammunitions. So the worst thing you'd want to happen to you if you are a soldier and you're on the war front is you never ever want to run out of ammo. You never want to run out of ammunition. Everything soldiers do during war is to make sure they still have ammo. That's why every time they're like, okay, how much ammo do we have left? Can you help us take on these people? How much more do we need to get? How much more would we need to carry that will not be too much for us, but would also help us win this battle? All right. So my ammo method is like what I carry, what helps me win the battle online. And I'm going to share with you quickly. Now, my ammo method is made up of 4. We're past 1 hour already, but I'm really, really feeling the energy here. Ammo method is made up of 4, steps. Number 1, audience. Number 2, mindset. Number 3, messaging. Number 4, offer. All right. Now, everything I do online is targeted towards these 4 things. I'm making sure I'm satisfying my audience, building them and satisfying them. Number 2, I make sure my mindset is all right. Number 3, I make sure my messaging really, really presents the perception I want it to present. And number 4, I make sure my offer is enticing. Like my offer makes sense. All right. So these 4 things, setting up these 8 systems, these 8 pillars, you can call them pillars, you can call them systems, is what would help you win in this game of, when you incorporate them with this framework, when you use them to appeal to your audience, use them to fix your mindset, use them to make sure your messaging is stellar, and you use them to strengthen your offering, you're going to find it so much easier to make a lot of money selling what you do, selling the knowledge you have. And I really love helping experts. The reason is this: you really never experience competition, right? Competition is a killer of sales. For example, let's say I sell a phone, an iPhone, and I'm the only one selling in the whole of Nigeria. Everybody wants to get an iPhone who must buy from me if they want an iPhone. Now, 2 years down the line, 10 more shops that sell iPhone come into the market. What's going to happen? My buyers are going to be broken into these 10 sellers. People are going to want to buy from those people who are closest to them, people who maybe their shop is close to their houses. I'm going to lose a lot of my buyers. But before, some people would enter bus, travel to buy from me. But now they can just look left and buy from the person beside them. That's competition. Also, even for some people, even if the distance is not a problem, price becomes a problem. If I'm selling 100K, somebody can sell at 50K and outsell me. That's very bad. But as an information marketer, you are unique. You can't buy from me. My mentorship would not be the same as another person's mentorship. My course will not be the same because it's not just knowledge, it's a mixture of me, the way I do things, my experience, my strategy, my story, my own stuff. That's why I really love helping information experts. When you set up these eight pillars, it might not be the exact same way I set them up, it might be your own unique way. You'd be able to appeal to your audience uniquely. All right, so that's it for AMO method. Now I want to round up with 6 things that would really, really help you win online. Now, if you have these 6 things, I can guarantee that you'd really, really make a lot of money. And I've noticed that for myself, I have stabilized these 6 things and I make sure that I don't lack any one of them because they would really slow you down. They would waste a lot of their time and they're going to help you. You're going to accomplish less if you don't pay attention to these 6 things. Right, number one, pay attention. Number one, you want the right information. That's why during the course of this webinar, I said something. I said, listen to less people. Don't listen to everybody. You want to cut down the people you listen to. One or two is enough. Don't listen to too many people. You want to pick someone you're going to get all your information from. For currently on my Twitter, I'm following quite a lot of people. I think I'm following 130 people on Twitter. And about 70% of them are muted. Like I don't view their tweets. I'm telling you the truth. Like they're muted, I don't see their tweets. Instead, what I do is I have a list. I have segmented those people I'm following into lists. People who are good at writing, people who are good at marketing. And what I do is when I want to get tweets that teach me about writing, I go there, I check them out. Nice, targeted information. Also, I have few people I'm following. I'm following just 2 people online. Like they guide what I do, they guide what I think, they guide what I create. I'm just like, oh, this guy's making money. And you don't want to follow people who are just you don't just want to follow somebody because of the person is promising you a prospect of making money, even when the person's style does not appeal to you. So you want to pick someone who obviously is making more money than you. Number two, someone whose process appeals to you. You're like, man, I love the way this guy thinks. I like his lifestyle. Someone who has the values you have. That means if you're learning from somebody who doesn't value people, you're not going to value people too. Unless you don't value people normally, then both of you go well together. But you want to make sure that their values also play along with yours, their character, their attitude. Not just because this person making so much money, I'm going to follow this person. No, is this person uniquely the kind of person I vibe with? Do I vibe with this person? That's number one, right information from the right person. Number two, you need the right guide. Or let me say the right strategy first. You need the right strategy. I talk about strategy when I talk about each systems. I said every single day I'm refining my strategy. And some of the things that help me build strategies are my mentors, my coaches. So you need the right strategy from the right person. Number three, you need the right guide. I mean, someone who is there to tell you this is what you do at this point, this is what you do at that point. Oh, because you got this result, try this. Right? So this is what you do, this is what you should pay attention to. That's a guide. You need a right guide. Right? So right information, right strategy, right guide. Number five, you need right accountability. And one of the best ways I've found is through masterminds and communities. Communities give you so much accountability. You want to be hanging around people who are doing the same thing you're doing, who have the same collective goals as you. Okay, they don't have to do the same thing you're doing, but they have the same community spirit, because that spirit is going to make you do a lot. Like, it's going to fuel your growth really, really well. I'm telling you the truth. I've experienced it. I grew from 6 to 7 figures because of community. I grew from seven, made myself first eight figure months because of what? Community. So every single day I'm on the lookout. I'm in a community currently. I'm in a mastermind from those two people I'm learning from, and it's so amazing being around people who are on the same journey as you, because they become your accountability. All right, they don't just tell you, "Hey, wake up, go and work." The results they get spoil you. The guide you get from them makes you spoils you. The exercises you do together spoils you. So the accountability, you need it as an information marketer. That's number five. Number six, you need feedback. You need the right feedback loop. You need someone to tell you, "Go do this because you got this result. Try this." Okay, you need someone who you can go to and say, "Hey, what's up? I'm doing this currently. I'm doing this. Can you give me feedback on it?" And the person will be like, "Okay, yeah, change this, change that." That's feedback. Feedback helps you get a lot done, stops you from making a lot of mistakes. Let's say, for example, I have experience in landing clients of 5K above, and you want to land clients of 5K above. I have the experience. So you can write a pitch, and based on my experience, I know that this pitch is not going to really do well. You should add this, you should cut this out. So I can tell you, if you have access to get feedback from me, I can tell you, "Hey, remove this, add this, come from this angle, do this, and now go implement it." And you save more time than if you sent it before and then that client rejected you and you had to go back. It might even take you months to get those things I just presented to you on a platter. That's what feedback does. The right feedback loop is very important. Someone who you can implement, get back to, and then the person tells you, "Oh, go do this," based on what you've gotten. And number six, you need the right implementation, the right execution. Community helps you execute. I said that earlier. They help you implement. They spur you to put in the work. They spur you to take the actions that really matter. All right. So you want to have these six things. You want to have them as an information marketer to really help you grow fast. These are what I found that really helped me grow fast. And they would really, really help you too. The right information from the right person, the right strategy from the right person, also, the right guide, someone you vibe with, someone who has the same values as you, someone who has gotten the results you want to get. Number four, the right accountability through community. Number five, the right feedback. And number six, the right implementation. Having these six things would help you win online. All right. So I built a community that has these six things. I call it the Alpha Hackers Inner Circle Community, OHIC. All right. OHIC is a community that gives you the information, the guide, the strategy, the feedback. These six things. All right. And I'm the guide. You have me. You can get feedback from me and all that. And it's so amazing. The results we've gotten are so amazing. So, kind of as a closing note, if you're interested in being part of a community like OHIC, I'm going to put the link to the application, website, so you can go through it, check it out, see if you're grateful for it. I'm also going to put it in the description. So let me see if I can type it now. Okay, TPS. All right. So if you're interested in having a community that offers you these six things, go check out OHIC. Yeah, with the link there. Let me see if I can pin up. Okay, pin message. Yep, I've pinned it to the top. So you can go check it out. No, I'm going to pin that. I'm pinning. All right, so I've pinned it to the top. You can go check it out and see if you'd like it, if you're a great fit for OHIC. It's kind of like a selected. It's always small. I always keep OHIC small so I can have access to everybody in OHIC. During the last launch, which was like 3 weeks ago, I let in just 30 people. We're not even up to 30 in the group yet, but I want access to each and every person. So you're going to apply. For you to be part of OHIC, you're going to pay an application fee of 5K. When you pay the application fee of 5K, you'll be taken to a form that you fill. when you fill the form, I'll go through it. I'll see if you're a great fit for it, and then I'll reach out to you if you are. So you can pay the main investment to be a part of the community. All right. So I'd like you to go check it out, see if you're a great fit for it, and then if you are, just sign up. It offers you the six amazing things. All right, so I've talked about mindset, principles, mechanics. I talked about my eight systems. I talked about AMO method. I ran through it. I talked about my leverage, impact, energy, and how I think about it. I think it's time I ask questions, or with that, I think it's time I take questions. Now, I said something at the beginning of this live. I said the questions I want you to send to me are not questions of based on what I taught. It can be what you've learned here today, but I also want you to give me questions like things that are really bothering you. It's an opportunity, man. Like, you can ask questions. You can ask questions of things I haven't even talked about here. And I want you to utilize the opportunity. All right. So this is where I would stop talking and I would start listening to you. So ask your questions. Just type your questions in the chat box, and then I'm going to address each and every one. All right. I'll just take 15 minutes for that. 15. So by 8:37, 15, 8, so 8:41. By 8:41, I should we should have ended this 8:41. I told you my webinars are usually long. They're just very valuable and straight to the point. All right, so 8:41. Who is asking? Are you asking your questions? I'm giving 15 minutes for questions. If I don't get a question like in like the next 5 minutes, I'm not going to take any question again. All right. Like nobody's asking question. You don't have any question. That's beautiful. Wow, smart kids. That's amazing. I'll be glad to leave here very quickly. Go back to see my movie. I'll see the movie before I go on this webinar. Very, very nice movie. Let me tell you the name. Should I tell you the name of my movie? So I'm looking in chat box. Gonna type it in the chat box. Like a lot of people don't know where chat box is. There's a live chat. So just go to the comments. You know when you want to comment on a YouTube video, go to that chat box and then type in your question. Just type it in quickly so I can guess the answer. Okay. Okay, Rayborn asked, hello. Oh gosh. Big man. My first question has to do with building relationships. How do you reach out to people you really want to connect with, even though you don't have as much results as them? Okay, let me assume you're reaching out to people who are ahead of you because those are people who would have more results, better results than you. Now, one thing you need to ask yourself is what does this person value? That's number one. I said this, some people would value availability. Some people value someone who makes them smarter, someone who makes them think about different things. Some of them might not even value your money, but they might value you helping them make more money, helping them save time. So you want to approach them with what you've discovered that they need. Let's say for example, you're trying to reach out to me and you notice that my Twitter header is not very attractive and you're a graphic designer, or you know a friend who's a graphic designer. You don't have to be the one with the skill. You can reach out to them, hey, help me create a header for this, and then you send it to them. That's a way of getting into their heads. Now, the easiest way to get these people to build relationship, to get someone who is ahead of you, who has more results than you, to build a relationship with you, is to become somebody of value to them. Because most of the time, they're the person who is giving, all right, and they hardly have people who give to them. So having someone who gives to them is like a pattern interrupt. It's exciting. It makes you stand out. Another angle you can come from just simply asking them, how can I help you? Very simple. I like simple things. If you can't figure out what they want and you don't want to go through guesswork, you can just say, hey, hello, I've really learned a lot from you. I'd love to connect with you. What can I do for you? How can I serve you? How can I help you? How can I make your work easier? How can I make your life better as a person? Because I know you're a person. Behind all the whole, money and all that, you're a person. How can I help you? All right. So it can be as simple as that, Wayborn. All right. You should try that out. Okay. So Aban said, thank you so much for the webinar. Thank you so much, Aban. Aban, I'm grateful. I'm glad you really loved it. Thank you so much for saying thank you. Akim, one day, my problem is how to get started. Okay. Now, how to get started? I created a YouTube short on how to get started if you're just starting out. So this YouTube short talked about 5 things. You should look for the video. If you're new here, follow me and then check out the videos in my YouTube short. I created like last 3 weeks. What I'll do if I was starting out, I talked about 5 things I'll do. Number one, learn a skill. Number three, share my learning journey. Number one, learn a skill that will make me relevant. Number two, share my learning journey on any of the social media platforms fit. Number three, get clients that can help and get results for them. Number four, build an audience. I would have built an audience already. Create a course that can help people. Number five, invest money in getting a mentor and a coach, and then I can scale from there. So this is an easy way to start out. All right, anybody can learn a skill. Not a free site out there that teaches skills. Anybody can create an account on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You don't need to ask for permission. Hey, good afternoon, sir. Can I create an account on Facebook? Nobody. You don't need to ask anybody's permission to tweet. It's permissionless entrepreneurship here. Permissionless. Nobody's permission. You need nobody's permission to make money online. You need nobody's permission to share your learning journey, to learn a skill. It's all dependent on you. So you can do all that and then start reaching out to clients. You can be helping them for free. You can be helping them for less than normal what you normally want to get, with the main goal of getting results for them. All right, so Akman said, with the recording being your YouTube channel, yeah, the recording would be in the YouTube channel. Yes, the recording is going to be in the YouTube channel. Okay, Emmanuel said, good evening, boss. How can I find particular people that need my services so I can cold pitch to them? How can I find people that can go pitch to them? Secondly, what's the best medium to cold pitch people? Email to them? Well, I'll answer your second question first. There's no best platform. Now, when you're trying to co-pitch, there are 3 things you look at. Number one, you look at people. Number one, you look at people. Number two, you look at your skill. Number three, you look at the platform. People, skill, platform, PSP. All right, like PlayStation Portable. So PSP, people, skill, platform. Let me break it down. What skill do I have, and what platform does it suit? If you're a graphic designer, it won't be smart for you to build on Twitter because Twitter is a text-based medium. It will be smart for you to build on TikTok or Instagram. Instagram is more visual based, all right? And if you're a writer, you want to build on Twitter, maybe LinkedIn, Facebook, and all the rest of them. So what skill do I have? Number two, what person, that's for people who can this skill help? And where are these people located? That's when you go to platform. So PSP, people, skill, platform. Who does your skill appeal to, and where can you find them? That's all you need to pay attention to. There's no best platform, right? There's no platform. These platforms have billions of users. So, a lot of these users are intertwined. You can find them anywhere, all right? So, how can you find particular people that need your services so I can pitch them? One of the ways I do this is through ads, advertisement. You see some people who are spending money advertising their products, and you see you can help them. Pitch them, get their contact details, call them, send them a DM. Or if you see someone, you can see their Facebook, their pages need your help, or what they're doing, you can visit their website, dig into their lives, perform research on them, check out their personal website, check out their business website, check out their content, scroll down, go into every link you see, click on it concerning them. After a while, you begin to gather information. Okay, this person needs help in this aspect. The person has this all figured out, but doesn't have this all figured out. How can I come in and be the guy who helps them get this one they don't have figured out? Very simple. Then you reach out to them, craft a very good pitch that simply tells them, I can help you do this. And it can be a very sexy offer. You can use it. A sexy offer will be very good. It can be something like, I help you do this. Make it risk free. Take away the risk from them because you're the one reaching out right now. If they're reaching out to you, you can state your price and say, oh, I charge this amount. Most of the time when you're reaching out, you want to tilt the odds in their favor. It can be something like, I help you create this for free, or you pay me after I get results, or you don't even pay me at all. I work for free for a month, and then if you like what I do, hire me after 1 month. That's a way. All right. So there are a lot of ways actually. So how do you build authority with people, especially on WhatsApp? Content. Put out authority content. If you want to build authority with people, put out authority content. Content that makes them see as an authority. That can be content about your lifestyle, content about your results, content about solutions to their problems. Anybody that solves your problem, you automatically see that person as an authority. Why do you think people respect doctors? right? People respect doctors a lot because they have solutions to their problems. So you want to put yourself as that person who is a human being who is interesting, but also has solutions to their problems. That's how you build authority. Trust me. All right, so I'm learning. Oh, thank you so much. Oh yeah, I'm so glad, man. I'm so glad. So this 8:35. I said I'm going to be out of here by 8:41. So it's like 5 minutes, 6 minutes left. 6 minutes. Ask your question. 6 minutes. I'm not even seeing any questions, and it's somehow vexing me. But anyhow, not to spoil. So I've answered one. I've answered two. I've answered three. I've answered four questions. Just four questions. Okay, Raybon said, assuming you're just starting out, email or WhatsApp for lead gen. Email, guy, like email straight up. I won't waste. sorry. I won't waste time to build an email list. I built an email list early, but I didn't focus on it early. If I focus on it early, man, it would be crazy. Because building on WhatsApp has restrictions. WhatsApp is a very limited social media platform in the sense that it's not cloud based. It's not linked to the cloud. Now I don't know how WhatsApp will be in future. In future, WhatsApp might be better, but for now, WhatsApp can ban you. I had a friend spent over 700K building his WhatsApp audience, and he got banned. So would that be a smart platform to build on? You can wake up tomorrow and they'll ban you. I have a friend. You recently it even happened. I have a friend. He got banned from WhatsApp. So it's email all day, all day. Okay, which one would I pick first? I'll pick email all day. Email. Some people might say WhatsApp really helped me start out well, but no. I feel like I would have started out very well still with email. Yeah, email. 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 Email is very good. Very, very powerful. All right, so 8 at 7. That's 4 more minutes left. Let's be staring at my fine face. I'm also staring at my fine face. More. I need to stretch. Like I've been sitting down for like this is so rare, man. I don't sit down for this long. What's the most efficient way to utilize partner traffic? Now there are different ways, but I'll tell you the most efficient way. But let me tell you some different ways. If the person who you're trying to get person's audience has a podcast, you can get that person to feature you. Number one. So you must have results here. Number two, you can put yourself as someone who has a lot of value for their audience. All right, that means you want to give them something that they can share with their audience and take the credit while you take their audience. All right, that's number two. Number three, it can be a collab. It can be, hey, let's work on this money making idea together, 50-50. And then they'll announce it to their audience. "Ah, I'm working on this person with this," and then you attract some of their audience. These are like very nice strategies. Also, you can also invite them to a program, an interview, or a space, a webinar. To tell the audience about you, and then your audience, the audience will get to know about you, even though they don't follow you, but they already they already know you exist. All right. Another way you can pay them straight up, paid partner traffic. Some people collect payments for retweets. They'll help you retweet. Some people run ads, influencers. They'll help you retweet your stuff or post your stuff for like a day. Paid is very powerful. Paid retweets work very well. Paid partner traffic works very well. Instead of paying, social medias like Facebook and Instagram that don't care about you. They can just show your ads to anybody. But I've learned that paying people who have the audience you have is really, really valuable. Like it's worth the investments by far, man. It's so much worth the investment. I don't know why I just said coffee. Something is wrong. All right, so this is 8:39. So that's like 2 more minutes. So, oh, you're Rayborn, you're welcome. You're welcome. Supposedly, a prospect asked me if I freelance, which I don't. How do I answer him or her as an athlete? If the client asks you if you freelance, a prospect, yeah, if you don't, just tell him you don't. But if you have someone who does, you can negotiate with that person in the sense that you give the person you the person gets to do the job and then earn maybe 30% out of it. All right, you're just making money as per. You're not doing anything. You're making money. You're an affiliate. That means you just affiliated. You just linked the prospect and the freelancer. You're an affiliate now. It is not only product you affiliate for. You can also affiliate services and people. All right. Tell someone about somebody that can help them and then get a cut. All right, Anita. All right, last one. How do I hire people? Okay, I hire people based on one singular trait. I look at character when I hire people. And one of the most amazing characters you can ever have as a person before I hire you is the character of availability. You must be available. Even if you don't know what I want to hire you for, if you're available, I can teach you. If I want a copywriter and I get a guy who's available, I can teach him to become a very good copywriter. But I won't like somebody who has the ability but is not serious. So I look at character a lot. Do you show up? Are you somebody that can show up every day? Are you willing to handle pressure? The pressure is getting worse. Can you handle it? All right. So that's how I hire character. All right. So David said, "Thanks, Oxide. You're welcome, David. Thank you for saying thanks. You've learned a lot. I'm glad you have. WhatsApp. What apps can one use to automate emails or content online without doing? Yeah, there are a lot of apps. You know what? Anytime you're looking for an app to automate any platform, just search Facebook automations, Twitter automations, WhatsApp automations. Just search them on Google. You'd see a lot. You'd see a lot of them. So for my Twitter, there I use Hypefury. For my WhatsApp, I use Wamation. Right. So if you're interested in Wamation, I don't know if I can drop the link to Wamation here. I use Wamation. Let me see if I can get the link. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, let me see. Alright, so I use Wamation for my WhatsApp. It automates a lot of my WhatsApp. So this is my affiliate link. So let me pin it. Let me see if I can pin this. No. Just I use Wamation. You can get the link there. I think I'll put it in the description. For my Twitter, I use Hypefury. Let me see if I can get the Hypefury link. It helps me automate my Twitter. I use Hypefury. And then for my emails, I use Aweber. So you can sign up for Wamation there. You can sign up for Hypefury there. I use Aweber to schedule my emails. It automates a lot of my stuff. So for Instagram, there are also automations for Instagram. Hey, just search Instagram automations. You'll see a lot of them. There's autoresponder for IG. Just search for them. All right. So what? Okay, amazing. Okay, so thank you, Oxide. Okay, amazing. Akinwande said, which of your course can you recommend to master email marketing? I have the best course on email marketing in Nigeria right now, the Email Marketing Profits Kit. So I'm going to drop the link if you're interested in EMPK. It's called EMPK, Email Marketing Profits Kit. It's everything you need to succeed as an email marketer on WhatsApp. I think I'll drop it in the description. Thank you for all these questions you're asking. So EMPK, I'm going to edit when this webinar is on YouTube, I'm going to edit it. So EMPK is my email course. It shows you how to get started, like from beginner to pro. Even if you're pro, you learn more pro things. You become a pro max. Become iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro Max. So yeah, so you can try that. I dropped the link here. I can one the email marketing profit kit. You can get it. And if you're an affiliate on Seller, Expander, you can also affiliate for the course and earn 60%. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. 60%. Pro Max. So what do you look out for? Yeah, amazing. Got it. Okay. So I think this end or more. It's past 15 minutes. I love the questions you asked. They were very thoughtful questions. So Rayburn asked a lot. Thank you, Rayburn, for asking questions. So I really hope you enjoyed this webinar. Some people are going to watch the recording and you're watching it live. So man, they would never feel the energy you felt while you're watching it live, while they're watching it recorded. Don't mind that. All right, so Rayburn said, last one for you, for real. What do you do with money when you make it? I do a lot of things with money. I invest money, I spend money. I spend a lot too. Like I give out money. I invest money, I spend money. I invest in capital. That means I buy stuff. I have a fiscal, shop. I have a fiscal business. I invest in stocks. I invest in crypto coins. All right. So when I spend on things I really value. I spend on food. I eat a lot. I spend on my dressing. I spend on fun stuff. I spend on gadgets that help me make everything easier. And also, I spend on mentors. I spend on programs, coachings, classes, and I spend on audience a lot. Like I spend on audience. So if there are two things I prioritize my spending on as an info marketer is audience and mentorship. Audience and mentorship. I'm about to pay for a mentorship. I'm about to pay a guy who will teach me how to, be very good at LinkedIn. I'm about to pay for mentorship because all my life I've never really used LinkedIn and I want to try it. So I pay a lot for mentorship knowledge. Right. So knowledge and audience really good. And also don't buy necessary things. Eat well, dress well, look good, live life, zen mood. Don't suffer because you want to make money online. Just balance everything out. All right, so that's what I do with money when I make it. So yeah, that's it. That's it. All right, so I'm so glad you're all here. I'm glad I had this webinar. I'm so glad I had this webinar. So this is where I'll end today. Do you want me to end? All right, so this is our end today. I'm really glad you joined. I'm excited. And if you're watching it as a recording, you're still lucky, bro. Some people would never get to watch it. That's sad. So I really hope you learned a lot from it. The questions. So if you're watching this as a replay and you have some questions, please drop them in the comment section. I'll take my time to answer them. Number two, I'll drop the links to the softwares and resources in the description below. And also the link to my community, the Offer Hackers in Aseko community, is also in the descriptions below. So check for it there. Don't forget. Yeah. Peace. Have an amazing day, fam. All right.